Chris a spreadsheet with like all the numbers out of it.
Hello.
Hey.
Instagram.
Oh.
What's going on? What are we making tonight? Butternut squash pasta, I think. With Kay Terrache. Hey guys, welcome to Real Life Cooking. I am just getting can I tag people on here? Kiana is intrigued. Hello Kiana, my special guest. One second, I'm just posting what we're making tonight. Welcome to Real Life Cooking. I know you guys missed me all week. I have on my beautiful makeup done by Beauty is Ange. I think that's her hash or her Instagram. Let me pull this down. That looks a little bright. Also, I need to start Facebook, which I normally do before I start, you guys. But today, you know, I'm just, hey Gil, how's football going? Hey Charlie Hardaway. Wait, no, that's not what I want to do. Facebook. Oh, here we go.
Hey Coy.
Is Chris in here? Hey Terrell. Oh, I just had to have Kiana on here for you to come through. Now I see. Oh, thank you, Christopher. I look a little, the makeup's been on all day, so it's a little aggressive from this close, I see. Oh, hey, Facebook. Sorry, I'm over here holding you upside down. Welcome to Real Life Cooking. I think I just invited, view request. I'm inviting my special in now. Sorry, Facebook, you can't see the special guest, but you can always watch on Instagram if you would like to see.
Oh, now I can hear you.
Welcome to Real Life Cooking. Why is it so far away?
What, me?
You would think that I have known. I told you to get your angles together, and my angles aren't together, just like last week.
How's my angle now? Is this too far?
Yours is good.
Okay, cool.
Oh, back up, Kiana. Hello, Rodney. We're just, is
this far enough? I'm all the way back.
Yes. You're good.
Okay.
All right, I'm just adjusting my camera because I clearly am not a pro. All right, there we go. Hey, guys. Oh, wait, can you see? Are you going to be able to see me like that? Okay, there we go. I think that should be fine. All right. Welcome, Kiana, to the Real Life Kitchen cooking demonstration.
Hi. This is my first time on an Instagram Live.
Oh, I'm breaking your Instagram Live cherry bubble.
Yeah.
What? That sounded weird. How does it feel to be famous on my Instagram?
I don't know. This is too much for me.
Too much? Well, we already have some fans for you that never watched Real Life Cooking before, but, they're here tonight, like Terrell. I think...
Terrell?
I think Sharon just joined on in.
Yay, hi Sharon. Hi, Karina.
Karina's here. Welcome. Hello, from New York, and Kiana's staycation, sort of, in San Diego. Yep. She's not in her current kitchen. Tonight we're making butternut squash pasta, and this recipe is super, super flexible, just like Kiana, literally and figuratively.
What?
Wow.
Okay.
Sorry, I just had to say that. I don't know if it's true, guys.
Maybe.
I know, literally, she is a very flexible person.
I'm flexible, yes.
Yes. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead. Kiana, if you'd like to say a few words about yourself to let the people know who you are, all 500.
I don't know. I'm Kiana. I live in LA. I'm a writer. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And yeah, and I like to cook. I like to cook lots of vegetarian recipes. I don't like cooking things that take a long time. So an hour or less is good for me. 30 minutes or less, actually. So.
All right, perfect. So this dish is about that timing. So this is right up your alley. We do want to get our pot of boiling waters to start to boil for our pasta. So if you don't have that on, you want to get that on. And then the thing that's going to take, honestly, the longest in this recipe is your butternut squash, cooking your butternut squash. So Kiana's is already cut up. I am going to show you guys. Kiana, you can actually start to saute your butternut squash.
Oh, saute. I thought I was boiling it in my...
You can saute it in that saucepan.
Okay.
So the reason why we're sauteing it is because we want to draw out some flavors. You can also make this recipe with roasting your butternut squash in the oven, but this kind of makes it a little bit more easier and a little bit faster, honestly. But I will say if you roast it in the oven, you're going to get a little bit more depth of flavor into your squash, like a little more caramelization.
Got it.
For those of you at home who have never worked with a whole butternut squash or just seen the squash on the shelf and passed it by, you don't know what you're missing out. It's not that hard to cut up. I'm going to show you quickly how to cut it up. And for this recipe, because we want to be on Kiana's timeline of very quick, we're going to want to cut our butternut squash. Who just sent all those emojis?
I don't know. Oh,
Chris
Chris.
Boy.
Because we want our squash to cook very quickly, we want to cut it very quickly. So as you guys just saw, I cut off, there's two different components of your butternut squash. There's like this round bulb and there's this flat part. This flat part is a lot easier to work with. So I'm going to use this for this recipe. And I just cut it off and then I'm just going to skin it. You don't want to eat the skin. And the way I'm going to skin it is literally just to cut it down like so. Take off the skin. Don't want that. It's really hard.
Your guests are loving squash. The audience is loving squash. Corey
Yeah, I've
Bill,
never
very-
cut a real like whole squash. I was intimidated by it, so that's why I have the chunks.
Yeah, and that is like perfectly fine. It saves you a step, right? It is going to be more expensive to buy the already done butternut squash. Like I think you can get butternut squash for under $2. And as you can see, it's not so hard, right, to cut it yourself here.
Yeah.
And again, I'm aiming for small pieces. So I cut that long strip into planks here. And then I cut those planks into long pieces. And from these pieces, I'm going to cut it into small. Again, we want it to cook quickly. Small little pieces that look like so.
Yeah.
Like this. Again, you can use the squash like Kiana has that is already cut up. And you don't even, I told Kiana to cut it up just a little bit more before we started. Just because in the interest of time, we want our squash to cook fast. But if you don't really care about the time, you can leave it bigger.
So I'm just putting it in a saucepan and a little bit of olive oil and then sauteing it, right?
Yeah, so you're going to put actually, not like, put a good amount of olive oil in there and heat up the olive oil before you put your squash in.
Okay.
All right. So I'm almost done. You see, this is pretty fast to cut up the butternut squash.
Get out of here.
You also have to have a good knife, though, right? Like,
Yes.
if you don't have a good knife, it's not going to cut like that.
You definitely need a good knife.
Question: Why is your squash two different colors?
My squash is not two different colors.
Talking about mine, probably.
Your squash is two different colors?
Mine was like an orangish cantaloupe color.
The two of our squashes are different.
Yeah.
I just have a brighter light, I think.
Maybe. But this is like an orangish color.
Yeah, mine's orange. Halloween.
I'm going to put mine in the skillet.
All right, cool. And while your squash is sauteing, we're going to cut up our onion. I'm going to actually put my squash in. So we do want, like I just heard that noise at your house, you definitely do want that noise to happen when you are cooking your squash. Because we want to get some color on there because color is flavor, and that's going to get some of those roasting flavors that we're trying to mimic as if you were to put it in the oven. We have a question.
We have a comment from Lindsay. Kiana, already prepared squash? Really?
No, Lindsay, you're late. It's pre-cut squash, and I cut it up a little bit smaller.
Yes, pre-cut sauce. And that's a totally acceptable cheat, Chef Lean approved cheat, because it does save you a little bit of work if you don't have a sharp knife, or you're just lazy, or you just want to save time.
Yeah, I'm all about saving time.
All right, I'm going to put my squash into the pan. Again, you want it to make some noise. Also, Kiana, once you put your squash in, sprinkle a little salt on there because we want to start seasoning and layering in flavors.
Okay.
Our flavors. And then the other thing about our squash, because we want to get some color on there, we don't want to move it around right now.
Oh,
You just,
okay.
you just want to let it get some color and just do its thing.
Okay.
All right. So while our squash is cooking, we are going to grab our onion and our garlic and chop those things up. So this sauce is generally blended. However, Kiana does not have a blender because it's real life, So we just
There's no blender at the Airbnb. I don't understand.
We just wanted to show you different aspects of life. So I would suggest, Kiana, you cut your garlic very, very tiny as your onion as well. I'm going to be blending mine, so it doesn't matter how small I chop it really. Although I will say the smaller I chop it now, the more like depth of flavor it will have in the sauce because it will release more flavor.
So it's gonna, go ahead.
Question: can Kiana tell us a little bit about herself and let us know, how do you guys know each other?
Maybe you should say how we know each other, Kathleen.
So I met Kiana many moons ago when I was a sad little feral cat in LA.
Feral cat.
And I was going to culinary school, but where I lived for real was like a far away, long time, like 60 miles, and there's a lot of traffic. So I used to try to find people that I could stay at their house. That sounds really bad. That's not really what happened. I met Kiana, and I was like, oh, she was cool, and I was like, oh, you live by yourself? Can I stay on your couch?
That's much better. Fix it.
And we've been friends ever since.
True story.
Kiana, what's your version?
Yeah, I met Kathleen through friends, and I met her one night, but I knew she wasn't like a random crazy person because we had mutual friends, and she wanted to spend the night at my house, and I was like, sure, why not? I was just looking out. That was it.
And then she literally couldn't get rid of me because she was a lot easier than going to my best friend's parents' house because I could come in late at night and she wouldn't ask any questions.
Wow.
Yeah, now that you guys know all my life before.
Right.
Kiana, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Oh, man. My name is Kiana, once again. I don't know. What is there? I feel like it's better if someone intros me. It's really hard for me to talk about myself. I don't know how to like.
Why are you randomly at an Airbnb?
Oh, I'm at an Airbnb in San Diego right now because I needed a little vacation and I needed time to write. I'm a writer. It's been very distracting in LA right now, and I just wanted to take a break and have some time to like focus in a new space. So it's kind of like my little creative getaway right now.
Okay, so it sounds very LA of you. Oh, the beaches and the palm trees were just not giving me the creative.
It was too much for me. I couldn't take it. So I had to come to another San Diego, LA or California, like nice area.
What genre do you write, Kiana?
I write comedy. So
where can we find your work?
Oh, tell us a joke.
I don't have any clean jokes. Sorry. Oh, I do have a good joke.
I'm going to stir my squash just a little.
Oh,
just
stir.
to make sure it's not burning. But there is some good color on here. I'm going to try to take a piece and show you. All my oh, that's not. You see that little bit of color on there?
Yes, I can see it. Am I supposed to have my heat up like high? I have it on like medium.
Yeah, put it on high because again, we want to mimic that roasting caramelization kind of.
Got it.
And again, we're trying to cook the squash fast.
Good. it. Oh, I see the color.
Yay, you're on the right path.
I'll show you. Look. I don't know if you can you see it?
Oh, yeah, that looks good.
Yeah. Okay. There's a question from someone on there.
Yes. Why don't you eat carne? What kind of foods do you make, Kiana?
Oh, yeah. I'm a vegetarian. I don't eat meat just because it makes me feel better when I don't eat meat. So I just cut it out of my diet. And I make a lot of, for protein, I get it from like, I'm not vegan. I eat like cheese and eggs here and there. But I eat like beans and, you know, veggies that have high protein. So, yeah.
How long have you been a vegetarian?
I've been a vegetarian for like 6 or 7 years now. It's been a long time.
Oh, yeah. So basically when I left LA, oh no, I guess that was a little bit before. I've been here 8 years.
No, yeah. A long time.
What's your favorite dish to make, Kiana?
My favorite dish to make, I like making, I have a lot of favorites. I mean, I like Mexican food, and so I make like a lot of like bowls with like black beans and salsa and rice and like cheese and like those kind of, so I make a lot of bowls with beans in them, or I'll make like lentils with some type of like, I make like a lot of ethnic dishes, I realize, like Indian, Thai dishes, curries, things like that.
What is your favorite grocery store to shop at?
Trader Joe's. The
Did
best.
you see Trader Joe's Bay on here a few weeks ago?
Who's Trader Joe's Bay? Who's that?
It's a couple that lives here in New York, and they are Trader Joe's fans, like many people in the world.
Oh, okay.
All right, so you chopped up your garlic and your onion, right?
I have not because I was talking. Sorry.
All right, so if you guys are joining us, welcome to Real Life Cooking. We're making butternut squash pasta, and we're trying to do this in a very quick way. So instead of roasting our squash, which you would normally do, we are just cooking on the stovetop on a pretty high heat to try to get some of the color into it, which color is flavor. We're creating some sugars and more depth of flavor there. We also started a pot of water to boil our pasta, and we are chopping up our onion and our garlic. And if you have a blender, you don't have to worry about how small you chop this up. If you don't have a blender, like Kiana, you're going to have to work a little harder on how to chop that up. Question.
I'm finding it again. Kiana, what's your favorite way to prepare vegetables? Do you grill them?
No, I like roasting them, so I can just put them in the oven and then walk away.
Yeah, I like roasting vegetables too.
Yeah.
But I do like a grilled vegetable, but I just don't have a grill.
Yeah, I have like one of those grills you put over your like gas stove, and it just gets really smoky, and it's like a lot of work. So
I do think that. What does your grill look like? I do like. Actually, I talked about this grill before. I do like this grill.
I have that one, the exact same one.
It does make your house smoky, but I do think it does make some good smoke flavor as well. But you just have to be willing to open up your windows.
Right. How many garlic cloves am I cutting up?
We're using 2.
Okay, great.
All right. Now let me just go ahead and chop up the rest of my onion. Once your onion and your garlic is chopped up and your squash, let me bring this over to you guys, is slightly browned. It's not all going to be brown, but there'll be some good brown bits in there. We're going to add in our onion and our garlic. Also, Kiana, let me know when your water is boiling.
Oh, yeah, I just turned that on, so in a second.
I thought you liked to cook fast.
I know, I wasn't paying attention. This is hard when you're trying to do multiple things.
It is.
And talk, so.
So once your garlic and onions are chopped up, you're going to add them to your squash. You're going to add a bit more salt because you want to give your onions and garlic some flavor. And then you're just going to let them saute, just like as if you were caramelizing onions and garlic. Although at this point, you're going to want to lower down the heat just slightly because you don't want to burn your garlic because that will give a weird, funky taste in the background. We have a question?
Question. Is it okay to use pre-cut onions and pre-cut garlic in this recipe?
I never recommend using pre-cut garlic or pre-cut onion because they both have properties that are released as soon as you cut them, and they only get stronger the longer they sit. So either when you're buying pre-chopped onion or garlic, it's not going to taste like real garlic, or it's going to be super, super dried out. I've actually never bought pre-chopped onion or garlic. Have you, Kiana?
No. I actually always chop my garlic and onions too.
It is annoying, I will say. It's like one of those tasks in the kitchen that, because you basically use onion and garlic for almost everything, but it's definitely worth it, especially if you're making a recipe like this, where there's not a ton of ingredients in it. You want your ingredients to really be good.
And I'm doing the whole onion, right? Like the whole onion chopped? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
And in the recipe, you may have noticed I said a yellow onion.
This is yellow.
I definitely use the red. You know, it's just because I'm not prepared today. I had a long weekend. But honestly, it doesn't matter so much. I find that red onions are actually better sometimes for eating raw. My go-to onion for cooking is yellow, which is why I wrote yellow down on there.
Got it.
It'll be a very subtle flavor difference, if anything.
I got it. Too many layers to peel.
You said what?
I have too many layers to peel this onion.
Oh, no. Kiana, have you taken the knife cutting skills class? Chef
I have, and it's useful. Everyone should take it.
Can you walk us through cutting this onion up?
Me? Um, so you're gonna like cut it halfway, long way, like this.
Yeah. With the hair still intact.
So it's supposed to be like this, right?
Yep.
Top part. And so then I'm gonna put it down on the flat end, and then I'm gonna. Do I cut it horizontal?
Cut it horizontally first. So you're gonna slide your knife through horizontally a few times.
Okay.
And then you're going to run your knife with the tip of it through down.
Got it.
And then you run it through one more time horizontally. Hello, JR Con 626. You know, a funny thing I was thinking about just yesterday, I think. Like now, we don't just have to remember our friends' names or new people's names that you meet. You have to remember their Instagram name because
and that's hard because people change their Instagram names.
They change them and they just like sometimes have no correlation to how you know that person.
Right.
Like, I really appreciate my friends that have Instagram names with their names in them.
Right.
Because then generally I can
like my name, Kiana is intrigued.
Appreciate your name. All right, I'm going to walk you guys over so you can see the caramelization that is happening. Do not be afraid if you feel like hey Chelsea, if you feel like your squash looks a little bit over toasted, again, that is flavor. That's amazing. Hello, Argus Cow. Sweet Luncheon joined. We're making butternut squash pasta. And this recipe can be adapted to basically have any kind of eating preferences. So if you wanted to add protein, you could sear protein at the beginning or just add in some cooked protein at the end. Really the only thing I would recommend for this is shrimp or maybe like some Italian sausage. Or not shrimp, sorry, chicken or Italian sausage. I think that the butternut squash flavor would kind of overpower the shrimp, and shrimp are expensive, so why would you want to pair those two things together? Question?
Kiana, would you consider yourself a good cook?
I think I'm all right. I mean, I don't have many people to taste my food, but it tastes good to me. So
that sounds real sad. I don't have any people. See, that's why Kiana welcomed me into her house with open arms. Come be my friend. Yeah, no. So back to the butternut squash. We were caramelizing the squash and the onion. Everything is chopped up together. We started the squash first because that's just going to take a little bit longer to cook. And we're trying to do this quickly. Actually, from the 20 minutes ago when we started, I think my squash was probably almost, like some of the pieces will be done. Like this piece right here is very soft. It would be done.
Yeah.
But we're making a sauce. So we're going to add in our liquid to that as well. I'm actually going to turn mine off while Kiana finishes chopping her onion.
I'm done.
Oh, Chris asked, did you make me cook to pay rent? So that's when I was in culinary school. People weren't really cooking my food back then.
Oh, yeah.
Kiana's like, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff people don't know about you back in the day. Let's talk about your culinary school days.
That's not.
What was like the coolest thing you learned in culinary school? Like when you learned it, you were like, oh my God, I didn't even know this was a part of cooking.
That's a good question. I don't think there was one singular thing, but I watched a lot of cooking shows growing up. So I felt very excited to be learning the actual technical names for all the things that I was doing. So like learning the vocabulary basically in the kitchen was super interesting and exciting to me. I also really liked the baking portion. We had 2 weeks of baking. We make croissants from scratch, which was really cool. And I could cook before culinary school. I just was not refined, Christopher. Thank you very much.
Exactly. What did you cook before culinary school?
I did cook. I just wasn't refined. My chopping wasn't that great. I made a lot more mistakes than I do now. Now, I make mistakes still, but not nearly as many as I did before, just because I'm way better at technique.
Some of my pieces are big in here.
That's Kiana's friend.
What?
Comment.
J Rincon 626 says, I believe in you, Kiki. Definitely know she is a good chef.
Oh, thank you. Who said that?
J Ringcon.
Oh, Johnny. Oh, cool. Thank you.
And Gil has a friendly reminder to get out and vote. Very important.
For
Yes.
Biden and Harris.
We're not partial over here.
Sorry.
Wink, wink.
Just vote for people who are on the ballot.
The right people on the ballot.
Yeah.
Kiana, are you early voting?
Yes, I voted already. I mailed in my ballot.
Oh, you're part of the 1 million people that have already voted.
Yep. As of 3 days ago, yeah, I turned in my ballot. Yep.
Nice. Yeah, early voting started out here in New York yesterday, and literally where I'm supposed to vote wraps around like the block almost twice.
Wow. So are you gonna mail it in or what?
I think it's too late to mail it in.
Is it?
Yeah.
It just has to be postmarked by November 3rd.
I don't trust it.
Go in person.
I need my vote to count.
Go in person.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in person. I think that maybe it might die down. Like, you know, the beginning of stuff is like really, a lot of people are like really trying to go. So I might wait, and then Kiana, your onion and garlics are in your.
Yes, they're
Okay.
cooking. They've been cooking for a minute.
Question.
2 questions. Kiana, do you miss meat? And what was your favorite meal that
I'm
included
sorry.
meat when you were eating?
Who asked what?
When did you?
Coy wants to know, what was your favorite meal that included meat before you stopped eating meat?
Oh yeah, I used to love, I guess, like chicken dishes, like really good, like grilled
Out of all the
chicken.
meat, you
Right.
choose chicken?
Yeah.
Ribs?
No wonder
Steak
you
was
stopped eating
cool.
meat.
I mean,
That was
I
your
didn't
favorite.
eat steak on a regular basis. When I did, it was like a treat. It was good, yeah. But like on a regular basis, like a really good like grilled chicken, that would be good for me.
No wonder.
Yeah, no wonder you
Like
stopped.
seasoned really well though.
No, girl.
Hey,
No.
Marcella, welcome to Real Life Cooking.
Shut
I
up.
met Carolyn last week. Yeah.
Kiana, nobody says that about
Yeah,
chicken.
Kiana, I'm sorry.
Nobody.
Grilled chicken is not the best meat out there.
She didn't even say
Actually, no, I take that back. Wings. Wings was the best thing that I used to eat when I ate meat. Buffalo wings.
The Cloudy Chef is asking, what about lamb? You didn't like lamb?
Oh, I did like lamb, but I didn't eat that like all the time. But it was a treat. It's good. I like
It was a treat.
Yeah.
All right, Kiana, once your onions and garlic, you want to cook them down for just a second again to get them caramelized a bit. And then we're going to also add in our sage. Again, my real life turn this weekend, and I have rosemary.
That's not
Sage?
sage.
What? Wait, so isn't it gonna taste different because you have sage and I have rosemary?
Yeah, we're making 2 different. I told you this recipe is super versatile. You can go any kind of way.
How much sage do I need? This is
So you're just gonna need a couple leaves. Sage is pretty strong. And for rosemary, I'm using about this much. As I chop it up, it should become about around a tablespoon.
Okay. I'm gonna use 2.
Okay, yeah. Sage is super strong. It's not a herb that's used very often, but it is a herb that is used often in this season. So a lot of people associate the taste of sage like with Thanksgiving. And again, if you guys are wondering why Kiana is spending a lot more time on her chopping than I am, it's because Kiana is not going to be blending her sauce in a blender, and I am. So that's going to do all the work for me later, and I don't have to spend nearly as much time chopping right now.
So am I adding the sage to the butternut squash thing now?
Yep, add it in, and then after about 30 seconds, you want to toast it in that oil. And then after about 30 seconds, we're going to add in our vegetable stock. So
am I putting this in here?
yes.
Okay.
Long answer to say yes. We have a question?
Question: if you don't have a blender, what are some ways you can use the utensils you already have to blend your items?
Oh, well, you're going to find out when Kiana shows us later. So Kiana is going to use a potato masher. Obviously, her sauce, unless Kiana has the strongest arms in the world, is not going to be...
I don't.
Kiana, you work out.
Yeah, no, not arm workout as much.
So Kiana's sauce is going to be a little bit more, we'll call it rustic than mine. You know, that is the fancy word chefs say when something is just not as refined as you want it to be. Like, oh, I was just making a rustic apple pie.
I actually ate at a restaurant called Rustic Root here in San Diego today for brunch, so I like it. Let's do it.
All right.
So was their food rustic and rugged?
No, it was pretty basic. It was just like brunch food, like potatoes and eggs. It was good though.
Nice. All right. So once your rosemary or your sage has been in there for like 30 seconds or so, we're gonna add in our vegetable stock. Again, another thing I do not have. Well, I actually have it, but I'm unsure if it's good or not, so I'm not gonna use it.
Wait, so I'm adding my vegetable stock to the. Okay.
Yep.
How many cups do I need, or?
You're gonna add, since you're gonna mash it, add like a cup and a half.
Okay.
I'm gonna add a cup, but I'm actually adding water and my bouillon, which I've told you guys before. I love bouillon because, Kiana, if you could hold up, look at that gigantic thing, as opposed to this bouillon that lasts for like so many things. Like this is like 38.
You can put this in the fridge though,
But for how long? I always put it in the fridge,
Like
but then I always
days?
forget like how.
This is good until next year, apparently.
No,
Not
not
when
once
you open it. Okay.
Oh, it's after you open it. I don't know. It just says best if used by. That's another question I have. What about these expiration dates? I never know when stuff is bad.
So after you open something, you have a very small window once it's open. I would say something like broth, you could probably last about a week, maybe. I would probably throw it out after 3 days because I'm just weird like that. Also because I cook for a lot of people, I'm always really worried. Like I don't want to make anyone sick, and so that's just a way to avoid anyone getting sick, just throwing things away. Wasteful, but you know, the other side is getting people sick, which I don't want to do. The other thing that I recommend, which I do at people's house that I cook at, but not my own, is once you've opened like vegetable stock, writing with a permanent marker, like the date you opened it, so you don't forget.
Okay.
I wish I had done that on the one that I had.
Somebody said a week.
I find so long.
Yes, Marissa.
Well, you're still alive to tell
I
me.
do that too. But isn't it a different like shelf life for like veggie stock versus like chicken stock, or is it the same?
I mean, technically, like chicken stock would be less, but I would say like either one of those that come out of a carton like that are a week generally. Yeah. Again, I'm telling you, I would throw it away after 3 days.
Got it.
But that's
My
what
water is boiling.
You know, the other thing you can do with that, if you know you're not going to make anything that uses vegetable stock, is freeze it, and then you can keep it for much longer.
Oh, true.
And you could even freeze it in like ice cubes and then put them all in a Ziploc bag. So if you ever like making a sauce and you just need just a small amount, you can just take out one ice cube. Okay, your water's boiling for your pasta?
Yeah, should I put it in?
Yes, but we are going to put salt in first.
Yes.
A good tablespoon at least, maybe even 2. And then, also, Kiana, your butternut squash, we can raise that up to a higher heat now because we just want the squash to cook as fast as possible at this point.
Okay.
Where's my pasta? What kind of pasta are you using?
I'm using fettuccine, which I don't normally get. What do you have?
I have bucatini.
Okay.
I really like this show because we're just showing you how versatile things can go as long as you understand flavors and you're not pairing like butternut squash with, I don't know, what's something that would not go with banana.
Ew, that sounds disgusting.
Exactly, but butternut squash and rosemary and butternut squash and sage are kind of similar.
Am I putting my fettuccine in?
Yep.
Okay.
And so when you put it in, oh good, you didn't break it up.
I was about to, and then I remembered that I'm not supposed to.
I mean, it's not like the worst thing you could do unless you're talking to someone like that's Italian. Like, what are you doing?
It's like classier this way, right?
Yes, much classier. We're classy ladies.
Bougie and ratchet.
Yeah, classy, bougie, ratchet. So if yours, Kiana has a nice big pot. You guys can't see it, but my pot doesn't fit my pasta.
There it is.
Oh, yours doesn't fit either. So what you do want to do is not walk away from your pasta while it looks like this. Like you're literally going to stand there until your pasta can bend enough that the whole thing is in the water. Because if you walk away from this right now, you're going to come back and half your pasta has been cooking for a long time and the other half has not. So you really want to stay there, and it should only take maybe like a minute to 30 seconds to really make sure it's all underwater. And then you also want to try to give it a stir so it's not like sticking together and like one big clump either. So this is my only caveat if you are making pasta in a pan that does not fit. You never want to just walk away while half of it is sticking out.
Got it.
How does your house smell, Kiana?
How does it smell? I can't smell it. I'm like,
You don't smell the food?
oh no, this food, yes, not the pasta. I'm like, I can't smell the pasta. It's just water in the noodles. But this smells really good. The butternut squash smells amazing.
Awesome.
It smells like fall in a pot.
And that's basically what it is. So now at this point we have our butternut squash. We started first. We put our onion, our garlic, our herb, whatever herb you're using, sage or rosemary, and we then we put our vegetable stock, and we're just gonna let this come to a boil. We're only really boiling it until the squash is cooked. Once the squash is cooked, then we can either blend or start mashing it to make our sauce. Question.
Kiana, are you making any dishes for Thanksgiving this year?
That's a good question. I normally make like mac and cheese, but Kathleen actually showed me another like shepherd's pie vegetarian dish I can make, and I made that last Thanksgiving, and my family really liked it. It's like, what's in it? It's like mashed potatoes, lentils, mushrooms, but it's the herbs that you put in it, because we put sage in it, I think, and like rosemary, and then
I think we put sage, rosemary, and thyme.
Yeah, so it tastes like that same kind of feel of like some type of herbed Thanksgiving side dish, so it's good.
Well, how do you make your mac and cheese? Questions, Eddie?
I make my mac and cheese the soul food way, so I do cream cheese, or no, not cream cheese, sorry. It's sour cream, a block of like cheddar cheese, cream of chicken or cream of mushroom, and then I boil all that, and that's like the cheese sauce. And I season that.
Did you just say cream of mushroom?
Yes, like the can. You can do cream of mushroom, or you can do cream of chicken.
I guess I don't have any soul in me.
Yeah, do cream of chicken. It's like more flavorful, and then you like pour that all over the noodles, and then you put shredded cheese in that, and then you bake that. Oh yeah, and also like half a stick of butter. It's like super unhealthy, but really good.
Wait. You make mac and cheese with cream of chicken?
Yes.
Vegetarian?
Not that kind of vegetarian. It's fine.
What?
Cream chicken.
What is that kind of? You eat chicken?
I don't eat chicken, but I will put the cream of chicken in the macaroni and cheese. That's happened before, but I normally use cream of mushroom if there's no cream of chicken.
Okay, I didn't think you were going to take me down this journey of mac and cheese. I was like waiting for butter, milk, butter, milk, cheese.
No, it's a very, that's the soul food way of making it, or at least that's what my friend that told me how to make it makes it, and it's like super cheesy, really good, very unhealthy.
Where is your friend from? I've heard of this message.
You know what? It's actually my friend's mom that gave me this recipe, and they're probably from the South. I don't know.
You're just making it. They're from Washington State. You over here making up lies about these
No, they're probably from the South.
Kiana, we have a comment from Lindsay. She said that's eating chicken.
It's not eating chicken.
Okay.
Just called cream of chicken.
Okay, whatever. You know, it's just chicken product.
It's chicken product. It is a chicken product.
Makes it sound so much better.
Chicken.
Well, before Kiana took us down that magical road of macaroni and cheese with cream of chicken or mushroom, I make my mac and cheese. Actually, I have two ways. I have the one side of my family way with the roux and the flour, and then you melt your cheese into that. So it's just flour, butter, milk, or cream. Then you melt your cheese into it. Then I have the other side of the family where you just put a lot of butter, some seasoning salt, milk, and cheese, and you just mix it all together and bake it.
Which side is which?
I can't tell you. You have to decide for yourself. The poll is out. Which one do you think is which?
I feel like we know which one. The one with the butter and the milk. That's probably the black side.
You never know. The world is a crazy place.
We have a comment from Chef Hollywood. I can vouch that people from Georgia use cream of chicken or cream of mushroom too.
That's so weird.
Never heard
it gives it like that creamy, cheesy, like the consistency that you need, and it's like more flavor. It's like got a lot of seasoning in that. It's definitely a lot of salt, but it's good.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. Okay, moving on. Questions?
We have another comment from the Cloudy Chef. His family uses evaporated milk and cheese.
I've heard about evaporated milk.
Oh yeah, we do use evaporated milk in it. That is another one that's in it. Yeah.
Yeah, I've definitely heard of the evaporated milk. All right, let's make sure our pasta's not sticky together. So give it a stir. Our pasta should take around 10 to 12 minutes, depending on what kind of pasta you're making. And hopefully, Kiana, how is your butternut squash looking? Is it looking soft? Like you could start
Let me check. My pasta stuck to my stir. Hold on. Okay. So the butternut squash, it's not as soft as I want it to be.
Okay, that's fine. We can
Do
just
I turn it up or just let it keep?
You can turn it up. If it's not at its highest point, it can be at its highest point because we just want it to cook. It doesn't really matter how it cooks at this point. Just want it to be soft. My butternut squash is soft, so I'm going to bring this on over to my blender and take out my blender. Ooh, that is not safe.
Oh, be careful. Be careful.
Yes. Kiana, are you doing anything for Halloween?
Yeah, I'm going to my niece's birthday party, her 1-year-old birthday party. So, see some kids wearing costumes, and then I might be going to a Halloween party that night at a friend's house. And I say party in quotations because there won't be that many people there. It'll just be like a backyard thing, but that's it.
Nice.
What are you doing for Halloween?
Are you gonna dress up?
Me? Oh, am I gonna dress up? I haven't thought of like a costume. But I'll wear like Halloween, something inspired by Halloween, like black or something. I don't know. I'm not festive this year.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think anyone is really in the festive spirit this year. There's a lot happening.
Right.
One of the most creative costumes I've seen so far is actually from your friend Sharon's child. She was Zoom. It was so cute.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. Is Sharon still in here? I don't know.
I don't know, but her dad made like a whole cardboard or a whole computer out of cardboard.
Oh, I saw that.
And she stuck her head through one, and then she had like family photos on like the other sides. It was so cute.
That's so funny. She actually told me, Sharon said that her and her husband are going to be Kamala and Joe Biden. So
that's a good one.
It's a good costume.
Yeah, I told Chris I wanted to be Trina and Trick Daddy. He wasn't really feeling that.
I don't see how that you guys pulling that off would be interesting.
What about Morticia and Gomez Adams?
I can see that for sure.
Yeah, I'm accepting my paleness in my face, so I think that would be a good costume for me, for sure.
That's an easy one too. Y'all could do that.
The Cloudy Chef is gonna be the Pickle Rick from Rick and Morty. I actually don't know who that is.
I know what that is.
Kiana would know what that is.
Chris
It's one of my favorite animated shows.
Oh, it's Kiana's favorite show. Anyone else that's watching, let us know what you're gonna be for Halloween. I need some ideas. I've heard. Kiana was trying to. So another fun fact about Kiana is she always gets me to always tries to get me to watch these random TV shows.
Random.
That she just thinks are so funny. And she'll be sitting there cracking up, and I'm like,
So what is your idea of a funny TV show? Because maybe we just have different opinions on humor.
No, I mean, I'm with you with The Office. I'm with you with Parks and Rec.
Yes.
I haven't watched a really funny TV show in a while, actually. Those are the two, sometimes I just turn those on just when I need to watch something.
Those are evergreen. They're always funny, no matter what episode you put on, and they age well. Those are good shows to watch. But, what show did I have you watch that you didn't think was funny?
Oh, that show about the Muslim guy.
Rami is so funny.
It was funny, but it wasn't so funny. You're like, oh my gosh,
it's a dramedy, and it has a lot of subtle satire humor. It's dry humor. So yeah, I find that.
I'm not smart enough. I'm not as intelligent as you to get all this humor.
Whatever.
We have a question.
We have a comment from Chris Coy. He and Gil are going to be.
What was the comment?
Hold on. I'm going to blend my sauce just to show you guys what it would look like. Blender on low when you are going to blend something when it's hot, and do not fill it ever to the top because it'll explode all over you. Let me blend this.
So while that's going,
Yep.
question was from, again, Chris Coy. What is Drew going to be? Drew is going to be at home. That is his costume. We are sharing a costume this year.
What is the costume?
He's going to be at home.
You going to be at home?
That's not a costume. That's his real life.
That's real life with Drew and Titi.
All right, guys. So this is how my sauce looks when I blended it. Obviously, it's not a drippy, amazing Alfredo sauce quite yet. But what I'm going to do is add, and this is where you can start to choose your own dietary preferences. So you can either add more vegetable stock to make it more loose. If you want to keep it vegetarian, you could also add almond milk if you want to make it creamy and keep it dairy-free. You can start to add butter and heavy cream if you like good stuff in life. But whatever you want to do, this is, once you get it to this point in your blender, that's when you're going to start to add more liquid until it's the consistency that you want it to be. And funny, Gil, you should say that Drew's going to be a palm tree, because one time I dressed up Titi like a tree for Halloween.
What? When was this?
Sometime in New York.
Yeah, 2014. The year before I met you.
Yeah.
I don't know how I agreed to that.
She had brown leggings, a green shirt, and then we just glued some leaves on her.
Facts.
And I randomly, I think we had like a bird too somehow from the dollar store.
Yeah, and you were Beyonce. Like, how did I agree to that? I was like, yeah, I'll Beyonce. Can you use coconut milk?
Yes, you can use coconut milk. Coconut milk is going to be slightly sweeter a little bit. I'm going to use almond milk here, and I'm actually going to add this in as I'm blending it, so I can tell the consistency changing as it is. Hold on, I'm going to blend for a second. All right, so now my sauce looks creamy.
Okay. So can I start mashing mine up now?
Yeah, once your squash is soft, you can start mashing. I'm going to taste this.
And do you have to have some type of like cream to go in it or not? Because I didn't
use whole milk.
No, you don't. If you don't want it to be creamy, you could just use more vegetable stock.
Can you put whole milk in this?
You can put whole milk, any type of cream. And then I honestly want to add some butter in here.
Yes.
So I'm going to add some butter. Mine is not going to be dairy-free by any means.
It's not November 1st yet.
And then at this point, this is when we're basically done with the sauce. But this is when you can season it. And again, if you want to add cheese here, you can add like pecorino, Parmesan, goat cheese. Goat cheese I'm about to add in here too.
Goat cheese sounds good.
But if you want to keep it dairy free, I have just a solution for you that still tastes pretty cheesy. Ta-da! Nutritional yeast.
I've never used that before. Is that good?
It tastes like Parmesan cheese when you blend it into sauces and stuff like this.
Oh, okay.
Question.
Can you use cashew milk?
Yes, you can. You can, I'm telling you guys, this recipe is so versatile. You can do whatever you want. And if it comes out good, thank me. If it comes out bad, your problem.
That's your fault.
You did something wrong. At a recipe I said you could never fail. All right, let me put my butter in and my goat cheese because I like dairy. How's that mashing going over there?
It's going. So am I supposed to put more like veggie broth in it to make it like creamier?
Yes, yes. If you find, like, remember when I first blended mine and it was like more of a paste?
Yeah.
As you continue to mash, you can continue to add vegetable stock to make it more liquidy.
Got it.
I'm about to blend this. And now I'm going to taste it. I also added a little bit of salt because I felt like it was not seasoned. I'm probably going to want to add some pepper, but I'll do that in a second. Now you guys can see my sauce is really, really creamy and thin.
Great. Mine doesn't look like that.
You don't have a blender.
I know. Damn it.
This is good. Don't worry, Kiana. Yours will still taste good. Sorry, I'm over here like.
It's gonna look weird though. I want it to look pretty.
Well, you can try this again. I'm gonna pour some of my sauce into that same pan I used to saute my onion and garlic and butternut squash. We have a question.
Does the goat cheese give it better flavor than using Parmesan only?
I don't know if it gives it better flavor. It gives it different flavor. I'm a huge fan of using goat cheese in creamy things like this, or what else was I about to say? Mashed potatoes. Using goat cheese and mashed potatoes is so good.
That sounds good.
I think that Parmesan cheese is a little bit saltier than goat cheese. So it's just a little bit different. You can use both. You can mix it around and use like half of one, half of the other, 1/4 of one, 3/4 of the other. It's really totally up to you.
Question, Kiana, can we see your pan?
You want to see my what?
Your pan, your sauce.
I mean, I think it's the best we're gonna do. So see if you can get in there. That's what mine looks like. It kind of looks like salsa.
Okay, so you made butternut squash ragu.
That's what this is. Okay, so it's like pasta sauce.
Yes, you made like a chunky, rustic ragu.
Okay.
Butternut squash. So now, if you don't think you're going to be able to make it smoother, what you do want to do is taste it and make sure you like the flavor.
Got it. Okay.
And if you don't, you're going to want to fix it with either salt. I know you're going to need to add salt and pepper.
I added a little bit while I was doing it. It's okay, but more salt and pepper. Yes.
And then, if I guess you look funny at the nutritional yeast, so you don't have any of that.
I didn't get any of that stuff because it said optional. I thought it was. I didn't know I was supposed to get it.
It was optional if you wanted to, enhance it a bit. If you wanted to complicate it just a bit.
I would have wanted to complicate it. I like adding things to my dishes because they're simple ingredients. I need to add like all the toppings and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm sorry that I did not.
It's okay. Next time. I'm going to make this next time, and I'm going to have a blender, and I'll put goat cheese in it, all that good stuff. Okay, so I think I'm going to try tasting it again. Let's see what it tastes like.
And then also by now, your pasta's probably cooked.
Oh, yeah, it looks like it's done. So I can strain that.
You don't even need to strain it. You're just going to... How's it? Good?
Yeah.
You're literally just going to take your pasta and take it from the water to your sauce.
Oh, okay.
So that's
it's fancy.
Yeah, that's going to do two things. That's going to help your pasta start to immediately absorb the flavor of your sauce. So your pasta's going to be more flavorful.
Yeah.
And the other thing that it's going to do is transfer some of that starchy water over to your sauce, so your sauce will start to get thicker as well.
Oh, but do I need it thicker because mine is already?
Oh, that's true. I mean, it's a very subtle thickness, kind of. All right, so let me turn down this light a bit so you guys can see more clearly what this is looking like. Once you have your sauce or your pasta in your sauce, you're simply going to toss it around. This looks really good. I actually wish I ate pasta. Because the sauce that I made, it kind of tastes like I could just drink it like soup, except for it's just cheese and squash, so I don't know if I want to do that.
No.
So this is what my pasta looks like. It's coated in that butternut squash and rosemary flavors, developed rather quickly. And now all we have to do is plate it.
Oh, wait. All right. Yeah, it did get thick, like you said.
If you want to even thin it out, you can use a little bit more of that pasta water.
Okay.
It kind of does both. If you add more of it, it'll get thinner as well. Question?
So I was asked to ask this question twice, so it's not my fault. I just want to make sure that I say that. Do vegans move their bowel movements
What?
the same?
What? Probably even more so.
We're not doctors. We're not scientists. We're not answering that question.
I was asked.
I feel like even more so because there's more fiber if you have a plant-based diet, right?
Yeah. Okay, well, Kiana answered it for you. There you go.
I'm just assuming.
He has a very healthy gut, unlike all of us meat eaters.
Thanks, Kiana.
Yep.
All right, so let's plate up our pasta. The fancy way to do it is to take some pasta, a good healthy portion, and then place it on your plate. But as you place it, I'm going to over-exaggerate this. Twist it around. You don't have to walk around like I just did, and you'll end up with a nice little mess.
I'm putting more pepper and salt in mine.
Yeah, I'm going to put some cheese and some pepper on top. Again, this recipe's versatile. You can make it however you want to make it, dairy-free or not.
Yeah, this looks very rustic.
A tale of two pastas. That's what it is.
All right, I'm gonna pour a little bit of this water in here, like you said.
All right, I am going to walk this over so you guys can see the finished dish. Ta-da! Butternut squash pasta.
How pretty. Mine is about to look something like it, but not quite.
Something like it. Well, again, tale of two pastas here. Kiana did not have a blender, so she's going for the more rustic
Yep.
look over there.
So you said take a big healthy thing and then just like twist it on?
Yeah, so hold it up, and then as you put it on the plate, twist your wrist around. Flick of the wrist. There you go. Nice.
I don't know. This is weird. Okay.
Yeah, that's good. Now let go.
All right. I didn't take a big piece, but it looks.
So bring your. Yeah, yours looks good, Kiana.
Does
for
it?
Not, for not having a blender, it just looks different than mine because mine is all smoothed inside of it. There.
Right. Okay.
All right. So now is the moment of truth. We taste it with the pasta.
All right. Let's see how this came out. Am I supposed to like sprinkle anything else on it? Like I have red pepper flakes.
Oh yes, you can sprinkle the red pepper flakes on. You could
Okay.
sprinkle, again, more nutritional yeast or cheese if you had it. You already put pepper on there, but you could put more pepper. Oh!
It's really hot.
That was so dainty. Wow, this is really good.
Yeah, I like this. I've actually never had butternut squash before.
Oh, first time for everything. First time Instagram Live, first time eating butternut squash.
Yep.
Well, Kiana,
Yep.
thank you so much for joining me on Real Life Cooking. It's about time you've been on here. The 2 years I've been doing this.
Yes. Have me back again. I don't do anything
I will.
but cook.
I'll make sure that you're prepared with all the correct
You
equipment.
should make the mac and cheese thing.
Yes.
And
Oh, yes, mac and cheese
We
episode.
can make the mac and cheese. Not we from the outside.
Yes.
maybe we can, and then I'll taste it at the end to see how I feel about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you guys for watching. The recipe will be up this week sometime on my website. And Kiana, any parting words? Any last things you want to tell the people, all our fans?
Go vote.
Yes, good one.
That's
Good
it.
All right, bye everyone. Thanks for
Bye.
watching.
Thank you. How do I get out of here?